I am a lesbian who also follows Christ. And I don't think the love I have for a woman is a sin. I define sin as going against yourself. And I truly, deeply believe that Jesus, God, source, universe, divine love, made me this way. So to go against the divine's creation of me, how I've always been, I've noticed this about myself since I was 5 years old, even though I tried to pray it away because of religious indoctrination. I've known this since I was an innocent little girl. And that perfect little girl who first had crushes on little girls isn't a mistake, isn't a sin. To love is not a sin. To love is not going against yourself. But for me to try to be straight would be going against everything. It would repulse my insides. My soul would feel disgust. That actually hurts my stomach to even think about having to be with a man again, because I was with men before I realized I was lesbian. And I'm very, very clear on this because I talk to God. For you, every single person is going to have different things that they are convicted about. Some people choose not to drink because that might make them irresponsible. Some people choose certain things that don't feel right for them. Like, to them, they're like, it doesn't make it wrong or right or wrong for some people, but they're like, for me, I don't get on my phone first thing in the morning. I talk to God. If I were to be with a woman and I'm a woman, that wouldn't feel right for my body because they're straight. They think there's certain things they feel convicted to do. And for me, I'd be going against everything natural in me since I was an innocent 5-year-old kid. Everything in me would feel grossed out and disturbed and forced and like I was doing something wrong if I were to ever even think about being with man. And to me, that going against what's in here and what's in here, that is what I define if we're going to use the word sin. But love is not a sin. If you're hurting people, you're doing something that causes pain, you are lying, you are cheating, you are stealing, you're doing something that in your heart you know isn't right for you. Maybe it's not a sin for someone else, or going against yourself for someone else. It's completely natural and loving for them to do it. But for you, it doesn't feel right. Kind of like, okay, if God tells you to go work on a project right now and you got all these creative juices flowing and you decide to just sit and watch TV and ignore the still small voice, you might miss out on the great idea that was like meant to be yours in that moment. I don't know, I'm giving a random example. But you'd be going against yourself and limiting your full potential of how God made you. And I truly believe that God made queer people queer. We aren't mistakes. And I think that people who perpetuate this belief, which perpetuates violence, will look back and grieve the fact that they hurt people. And they were indirectly responsible for hurt, pain, children hurting themselves over believing that people do not accept or love them. And that is sad. That is sad. And the people who really care about what the Bible says need to actually do the research to understand that the word that was replaced with homosexuality in the Bible in 1946 was arseniokotai, which means something very, 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 very bad. Very bad. It means something for adults that hurt children. And they took that word and they replaced it with the word homosexual in 1946. You can Google this, you can watch 1946 the movie. But anyway, just know that these things were replaced in the Bible for political gain and for reasons to keep marginalized people marginalized. But it wasn't originally in the Bible. And some of you out there might think, well, it doesn't matter what the Bible says to me. Like, I go according to what's right in my heart and the morality in my heart. Like, whatever your connection with God looks like, okay? But if you do care about the Bible, and that is something to you because like you're raised that way, then set your heart at ease by just doing some research and equipping yourself with information so you can argue against homophobic people. And honestly, that's as deep as I go. I'm not going to sit here and quote different Bible verses and be like, oh, well, this one was mistranslated here and here and here. Like, I don't care, honestly, because I know my personal relationship with God cannot be undermined by someone else's religious superiority. But if you're not feeling that strong yet, because it took me some time to get there, that's okay. Just do research so you can feel confident and surround yourself with a positive community, hopefully like the one you find here, with people in the comments who know they are loved by God and who don't define themselves as sins like other people who claim that they are just loving you by being hateful to you say. Okay? You're loved. Big hug.